Welcome, Climate Viewers. This is Jim Lee from ClimateViewer News at ClimateViewer.com. Happy Thanksgiving to all those who are with their families, and if you weren't, sorry to hear that. Had a great Thanksgiving myself. I was literally comatose all day long, but decided to hop on here and bring you guys an update on all things with the chemtrails. So many of you probably know, put this out in October 21st about NOAA legalizing private geoengineering. Got an absolutely epic response to this. It's really great. More than I could have expected. Even DellBigTreesHighWire.com, ICANN, the Informed Consent Action Network, they put it out on November 15th, and they put their own response in and raised even more awareness about this. We were able to garner a whopping 1,600 responses. So lots of public comments. Kudos to everybody who took the time to go and submit a response. I greatly appreciate it. Another quick update. For those who don't know, if you weren't aware, I was nominated for the MAHA nomination process, Make America Healthy Again, with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and the Trump transition team. And, you know, my request to you guys was just please help me beat Dane Wigington. And I know that sounds so petty, so petty. But it, you know, it's true. And I never expected help like this. You wouldn't believe the response. So from out of nowhere, I'm on my Telegram chat, t.me/ClimateViewer chat for those who don't know about it. And what do I see from Vetter Adler, which is a German group? They put out this post encouraging other people to go vote for me with 138,000 views just on Telegram. Pretty freaking impressive. And then they made a YouTube short, which I'd like to share with you guys right now.
Verbot von Geoengineering. Das ist es, wofür der US-Amerikaner James Franklin Lee Jr. sich einsetzen will. Als Betreiber von ClimateViewer.com berichtet er seit Jahrzehnten detailliert über die globalen Geoengineering-Praktiken und ist eine Koryphäe auf diesem Gebiet. James Franklin Lee Jr., besser bekannt als Jim Lee, wurde bereits in zahlreichen Fachlektüren und Magazinen zitiert, wie zum Beispiel dem Buch Under an Ionized Sky der US-Autorin Elana Freeland. Jim Lee wurde als Kandidat des Make America Healthy Again Programms von Robert F. Kennedy Jr., kurz MAHA, im Bereich Umwelt und natürliche Ressourcen nominiert. Sollte Lee hier genug Stimmen erhalten, hat das Thema Geoengineering und Wettermanipulation eine echte Chance, auf den Tisch der Trump-Regierung zu gelangen und dort mit Hilfe von Lee als qualifizierter Berater nicht nur diskutiert, sondern sogar unterbunden zu werden. Um Jim Lee mit ihrer Stimme zu unterstützen, melden Sie sich einfach auf der MAHA-Seite mit Ihrer E-Mail-Adresse an und bestätigen Sie diese. Dann gehen Sie auf der MAHA-Seite zur grünen Kategorie Environment and Natural Resources und suchen nach dem Namen James Franklin Lee Jr. Nun klicken Sie auf sein Profil und stimmen oben mit Ihrer Stimme ab, indem Sie auf Vote drücken. Das ist die Gelegenheit, dem Geoengineering nicht länger passiv zuzusehen und gegen die Mainstream-Medien anzureden, sondern es mit Hilfe von Robert F. Kennedy Jr. und der Trump-Administration auch auf höchster Ebene zum Thema zu machen. Gemeinsam mit unserer Hilfe schafft es Lee vielleicht, Regulatorien in der Luftfahrt zu implementieren, die es untersagen, dass Kleinst-Nanopartikel wie Aluminium und Barium durch tausende Flugzeuge täglich in die Umwelt und unsere Atemwege gelangen. So könnte sich die Biosphäre der Erde leichter regenerieren, ohne aus der Luft ständig neu belastet zu werden. Wetteradler. Umwelt und Technologie.
And that's pretty epic because I don't speak German, but luckily for me, Bettina from Geoengineering Free Canada did, and I was like, Bettina, they were saying good things, right? And she was like, yes. So I really want to thank Vetter Adler for putting the video out there. Shout out to them. They are at vetteradler.de. Links in the details. Sharing is caring, of course. And that netted us a whopping 956 votes now. As you can see in the short there, it was only at 360. And what did that put us? That put us at number 1 in the hot. If you just click on the category for environmental and natural resources and you click on hot, you'll see that 6,300 views of the profile. It's number 1 in the category, 956 votes. Love you, Renette. Passed you up. And Dane's sitting down here at 556 votes. Let's go, chat. We did it. Oh man. Anyway, I'm not getting tired of winning yet. It really hasn't got tired yet. So that brings us to Purple Pill. I appreciate you voting for me. Thank you so much. A lot of people said way too many nice things about me. I mean, I appreciate you all lying about me in public, on the forum. I'm very humbled by the compliments on the MAHA forum, and I really appreciate you guys putting your trust in me, and I take it seriously. So like, I'm always going to shoot you straight on this stuff. And this is one of those topics where people tend to get massive case of butthurt. Anytime we talk about chemtrails, there are those who really do not want to hear it. But I have evolved from where I was in, let's say, 2010-ish to going, let's really figure out what the heck's going on here. And one of the biggest commonality, and for those who haven't noticed, my cat Prince decided to join the live stream. He's blending in right there. You can kind of see him. He's definitely hiding for sure. If he moves, y'all let me know in chat. But he's very comfortable. He's always on my bed. Sleep well, Prince. So I wrote this up. This was actually posted November 24th. So if you have not subscribed to the Climate Viewer reports on climateviewer.substack.com, you can always just go over to connect.climateviewer.com. That has links to all of my stuff. So you can subscribe to the Substack and other things like that. But, I wanted to tell people about this one because this is probably the most common thing that I get asked. What are these tanks? I saw them in a video, and that's proof that chemtrails are real. Don't believe me? Literally just do a Google image search for chemtrails tanks, and you will get hundreds and hundreds of pictures like this of just all these. Look at these chemtrail tanks. They're everywhere. I mean, the proof is out there. Don't you guys know by now that clearly the proof... I mean, even Donald Trump went in a chemtrail plane. That's proof. That is 100% proof. You cannot argue with your lying eyes. Jim, why are you shilling? Who paid you off? All that stuff, which is always fun, whenever they decide that they're going to just say, well, clearly you're paid off, Jim. That's why you're doing this. We know you're a NATO shill. Got you. Okay. But the bottom line is this, people. I'm going to shoot you straight. Like when I learn it, you're going to learn it. I've known this for a long time. I just haven't ever covered it. So we're going to cover it tonight. So here we go. These are called ballast tanks. The most commonly misused images are water ballast tanks, which are used to stress test new aircraft before they go into service. Ballast tanks are used in airplane testing to precisely control the aircraft's center of gravity by adding or shifting weight during flight, allowing engineers to evaluate how the plane handles under different load conditions, such as fully loaded with passengers and cargo, simulating real-world scenarios and ensuring optimal stability and performance throughout the flight envelope. Now, why is this so important? I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because you guys need to see, and warning, if you don't, you're not actually going to see people die, but people died in this video I'm about to show you. A National Air Cargo Boeing 747-400 freighter on behalf of the U.S. Mobility Command from Bagram Air Force Base to Dubai, crashed with 7 crew and cargo consisting of 5 military vehicles, and all 7 perished. Not cool at all. This is right after takeoff. One of the vehicles broke loose. It fell towards the rear of the plane. The center of gravity of the plane got off balance very rapidly, and the pilot was unable to recover control. That happened. And you can see it. Everything was going just fine right till about here. And the entire center of gravity shifted. And that's it. So this is definitely serious stuff. Definitely serious. And the reason I show you that is to show you this. So that's why they go and they test these planes, to try to understand what would happen if they quickly moved water around in the cab, how that affects the center of gravity of the plane. Is it dangerous or not? Not supposed to show crashes on YouTube. Bro, that video up at CT, that video is on YouTube. That's a YouTube video. Boeing crash, Bagram airfield. You did see that, right? Like, it's right there. It's a YouTube video. And I kind of gave you guys a heads up. But anyway, if you want to fully understand what's going on and why that happened, there's a very lengthy video here. Why did pilots lose control? National Air Cargo Flight 102. And it's full 3D animations explaining everything, why it happened and all of that. But that's why they test the center of gravity in these planes. As you can see here on a Airbus testing flight, and I'm not going to play the audio for this because if I did, there's music in the background and we all know what would happen. But this is FTI, flight test instrumentation. So this is a test flight before they actually go and put it into service. They've got computers everywhere. All these wires, all these tubes hooked up. And right here, he shows like the computer center where they actually read all of the data as they're doing the testing. "13 cameras all over, from the landing gear to inside the cargo bay, everywhere." And he shows some chemtrail tanks right here. And then we have them chemtrail tanks. So about 300 kilograms each for these bottles. And they're filled with water, and they hope to, see if they're going to throw the flight off balance, if they're going to screw with, the ability for the pilots to control the airplane. They'd rather go ahead and do it in a controlled scenario instead of having a whole bunch of people on board. Now, I got a couple other things in here. Of course, this was probably the most famous case. Trump tours chemtrail plane 2017. This thing went thermonuclear. And of course, there were really stupid articles like this one. I'll just see if it comes up quickly or not. Donald Trump tours chemtrail plane, promises to terminate program, worldtruth.tv. And this was captured June 8th, 2017. It's on archive.org because it doesn't exist anymore. Highly convenient. Donald Trump, accompanied by select members of his cabinet, toured a chemtrail outfitted dispersal airplane at Andrews Air Force Base. Wrong. The secret, today marks a great day for our country, and we turn our backs on the secret poisoning of our skies, and we look to a new future with better roads, a secure electrical grid, and a great wall to protect us from Mexico, said President Trump, reading prepared comments. Now, first off, that should have been your red flag right there. He doesn't really talk like that, and he rarely ever reads prepared comments, but people fall for this stuff. And hear me, we are not going to let scientists and other elite eggheads tell us how to control the environment anymore. It's America first, not the skies first. He would have came up with something funnier than that. I'm pretty sure. But regardless, you can actually see in reality, President Trump was touring a Boeing 787 Dreamliner test plane. Links provided right here. Once again, going to thearchive.org for whitehouse.gov. And this is his actual remarks from the Boeing company in North Charleston, South Carolina. I am in Sumter, South Carolina. Trust me, even in the center of the state, we knew full well that Donald Trump was in Charleston when he arrived, because everybody was like, yo, you hear Donald Trump's down at the Boeing, plant in Charleston? Anyway, so this is what he actually said, so you can actually read what he said. And here's an actual video of him touring the Boeing facility in South Carolina. People just use this stuff and they prey on people that don't know any better. It's really pathetic, but you can see him. He's at the Boeing plant, and he actually does go on board. Now, in the video that you're seeing here, you don't actually see the photo that was taken from, I believe it's NBC or ABC. Yeah, NBC News. Hope it isn't MSNBC, the soon to be sold off MSNBC. But regardless, this is where Donald Trump actually boarded the Chemtrail plane. Yeah, big secret program full of secret pumps and pipes that everybody's talking about, showing you pictures of, and lying to you about it. In fact, the original photo comes from a tweet right here from Dan Scavino on February 17th. Why is that important? It's the same day that he made the freaking comments. And Dan Scavino was one of his, cabinet members, his team. And I get right here, I put a link, tweet by Scavino45, where you can go back to the original tweet and see it for yourself. Here are the photos. These are all the people at the Boeing plant. There's Captain Trump about to, just looking at the new plane. And there is the now infamous photo of Donald Trump touring a chemtrail plane. No, those are ballast tanks. Ballast tanks. So this has been easily one of the most common questions I get, most common things that I see that it just drives me absolutely crazy. Good Lord, I just closed my own damn article. All right. Too many of the things. Anyway, so now we're back. And moving down here. So yes, this is one of those most infamous moments. Black Friday, what you gonna buy? I'm not buying anything today. I will not be participating in the Black Friday. In fact, we've already handled pretty much all of Christmas, and they're in boxes. I had to move to get out of the shot. Literally, I had cardboard boxes up to here because the children were like, look, until Christmas time, don't go in my bedroom. Just don't. Don't even do it. You're going to ruin it. And if I find out you found out, we're going to send it back to Santa Claus, aka Amazon. Oh, man. But yeah, this is important stuff for people to know, because the bottom line is people are just lying to you constantly. These are ballast tanks. They are used for testing planes, period. Now, of course, I put a whole bunch of other stuff in here, good old AI to spit out all of the different things that they're used for. Ballast tanks are used for weight simulation, center of gravity adjustment, stress testing, performance and aerodynamics, even testing of systems like the fuel system simulation. This was actually kind of a new one to me, so it's probably new to you, so I might as well show you, which I thought was pretty fascinating, actually. If you look at this, this is, is fuel moved around during a passenger flight? If so, why? And they show you, yes, that is a thing. And they actually show you how it gets adjusted around, how there's different tanks in the plane, and how it does get moved from tank to tank. So even this is adjusting the center of gravity because you have liquids which are being pumped from tank to tank. All of this is a fine dance, to say the least. Even in the old Concorde supersonic transport plane, we had 11 different fuel tanks. Do you see that? I mean, it's absolutely crazy to think about. These are very complicated devices, and most people don't really dig into all of these systems. I think it's personally fascinating. The more I learn, the more questions I have. So, summary: believe none of what you hear and only half that you see. Edgar Allan Poe. Now, of course, one of the first comments that came up was like, well, why are you just literally blowing off everything as if it's ballast tanks? And I'm like, but bro, I'm not. So I'm not claiming that every single pump or pipe you've ever seen, in a video or a picture is a ballast tank is just filled with water. That's clearly not the case. But in almost every single case, it's not what you think it is. And I could promise you this, every single photo I have ever been sent, I've been able to figure out where it came from and then find out that the person was bullshitting me. And I do not like being bullshitted. So another great example of that, which now is the most popular article on my Substack, U.S. Air Force admits chemtrails, adulticide. You're being sprayed like bugs from aerial spraying to chemtrail trucks. Now this is about, as you can clearly see, this is not a Delta Airlines. This is a C-130, okay? But it clearly has spraying apparatus on the apparatuses on the sides. And I mentioned this on the Del Big Tree show. And of course, ICANN actually did a Freedom of Information Act request on this, and it resulted in 2,900, aerial sprayings, of different insecticides. But this is what's called the Modular Aerial Spray System out of Youngstown Air Reserve Base, and they look like this. Now, these are clearly not water ballast tanks, but those are chemtrail spraying pumps and pipes, right? Clearly, that's freaking green chemtrails. That's herbicides. That's to kill freaking trees and plants, and it's modern day Agent Orange. Let's put it that way. Agent Green right there. You're seeing it. I'm seeing it. It's a real photo of the mass system. But you can see the hose right here, the nozzle, and it connects to the tank, and it sprays out of a C-130. And they do this at low flight altitude. They're not way up in the sky making clouds with these. That's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but so help me God. So I try to put all of these things where they belong and make sense of this so that people can actually see you're being sprayed with NALED, which is dibrome. 97% NALED. And how does that affect your health? And these are all of the different chemicals that were in the Freedom of Information Act request that they're spraying just from the Youngstown Air Reserve Base aerial spraying unit. And that's just, damn it, creepy. So, kills bees, birds, fish, other wildlife. Information on that, and you can actually see a video of that right here. You can actually see the C-130 coming through. spraying them chemtrails. Keep your eyes open, and right about here, you'll see it right there. That's what it looks like in action, the real deal. But as I said, again, not Delta Airlines, not Southwest Airlines. It's not the chemtrails. These are not the chemtrails you are looking for. I mean, we're talking like, the Jedi. Okay? Look at that thing. Absolutely crazy. And these fools are like right underneath it. Like, we don't care. Come by and spray us real quick. That's killing mosquitoes. But nonetheless, that is chemtrails from AC-130. And when I say low altitude, bro, that thing's dragging its butt on the ground. I mean, it's 100 feet at the most, maybe 2. You can't get a clearer shot of that than that right there. Williston vector control. Vector control meaning disease vector control. Again, something totally different. We also have them chemtrail trucks here in South Carolina. Those were rocket thrusters. Oh, Spoonie, you killing me, bro. Them's rocket. Good stuff, man. But, again, we have the chemtrail trucks here in South Carolina, and they look like this when they come through. If you guys haven't ever seen these. Oh, you know that sound. Yeah. Too loud. But yeah, if we hear those coming, we know Dibrome's in town. The NOLED's coming your way. But that's what they do. They spray for chemtrails. I mean, this one takes the cake, though, the mosquito. The chemtrail motorcycle. I mean, you just can't make that up. The chemtrail motorcycle. Older video I did, bacteria-infected mosquitoes released in Florida, Adulticide and U.S. Air Force spraying. Back in 2018, I covered that, and a whole bunch of links on that. Finally, of course, chemtrails cause wildfires, which is linking all of the aerial spraying that happens for herbicides, for killing trees specifically. So these are just 3 types when you're talking about tanks that are not related to making clouds. They're not related to geoengineering, but you're constantly seeing them, being shown. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Yeah. This is helicopters.
Video shot by King shows the typical industry practice. After a clear cut, helicopters spray a potent mixture of herbicides to kill everything on the forest floor except Douglas fir seedlings. By eliminating plants that compete for sun and water, timber companies can grow the trees faster and harvest more frequently. Residents like King complain they're repeatedly exposed to potentially harmful chemicals through the air and possibly the water.
From up here.
And that's why it matters. That's why this is important, because at the end of the day, a lot of people, they're only focused on the clouds, and then they're using all of these images of pipes and pumps to say, look, A, contrails don't exist. B, that's all pumps and pipes. See, here are the photos of the pumps and pipes. Now, this is where I really start to get ticked off, because every time I see these photos, I always can, hell, there are AI image search engines that I have now. Before it was a little tougher. Now it's getting really, really easy to take these photos and figure out where they came from. And a lot of times, the photos, they're not even on the internet anymore. They're hidden on archive.org or stuff like that. So it's getting easier and easier for people to just, make stuff up and associate these pumps and pipes and bottles that they're seeing with, you know, just their chemtrail, you know, I don't even know the word. I don't like the word conspiracy. I clearly don't like that word. But at the end of the day, they're bullshitting people. And I don't, you know, if you're part of the problem, if you're one of those people that are out there using these bullshit videos, you know, with these pictures of these bottles that you know damn well, or maybe you're just too ignorant to know that they're ballast tanks, that they're for spraying adulticide or herbicides, and you're telling people, or it's part of like the evergreen tankers. You know, even with the evergreen tanker, I mean, let's be realistic, people. With the evergreen tanker, it comes out of the center body of the, you know, it dumps out of the center. It doesn't come out of the freaking engines. So this is where I really, you know, take a stand on this, and I say, enough's enough with the BS. People should be better educated about this. Know what the difference between a ballast tank and a chemtrail tank. And if you're going to call them chemtrails, then at least know what chemtrails you're talking about, because there's a big difference between spraying for mosquitoes, trying to kill trees, and poisoning all the people underneath with those chemtrails, and jet engines making contrails, which turn into cirrus clouds, which block out the sky. Oh, by the way, the jet fuel that's in them, it's still poisonous, and nobody's doing anything about it. So it is my hope that, you know, crossing my fingers, maybe I will get a call from RFK and get the opportunity to really spell this all out and say, hey, we should do something about this. Nobody's ever even really looked into how much particulate matter we're breathing from the 150-ish thousand flights per day, the 40 million flights per year. And we don't need somebody's hokey videos with a bunch of bottles that have nothing to do with it, messing up the story, ruining, I mean, literally ruining activism. Because at the end of the day, if you're not educated on this stuff, you can ruin your ability to do it, which is why I literally wrote an article about it called How Chemtrails Are Ruining Activism. Literally. So didn't plan to throw that one in there, but it kind of seals the deal on my point that, you know, people literally, they don't want to understand the whole truth and nothing but the truth. That's my role here. It's not a popularity contest. It's not to, you know, get rich and famous. It's about, you know, where conspiracy meets reality. The reality is 90% of the photos that you're being shown are for testing flights. Dirk always throws something in there. Let me see this real quick. What you got, Dirk? I'll click it. If you guys aren't following Dirk on Telegram, you should be. Smog refugees in Telegram. You know, I'm a member of his chat, by the way. Right here. Toxic smog victims, stop 5G and chemtrails, Benelux? I don't know. Benelux. And Dirk always posts like absolutely insane posts. So he's one of my favorite people. If you guys want some just to drink from the water hose or the fire hose of internet, you can jump in here, because as you can see, nanoracks make rain in low Earth orbit, cloud seeding from space, high altitude rockets. The list just goes. Propel, pump application using pulsed electromagnetics for liquid relocation. Damn, son. Pretty cool stuff. And I mean, all of his posts are like this. So if you're not keeping up with Dirk's channel, please do. He's a good longtime friend and, you know, fellow researcher, and I absolutely love his stuff. Let's see this. What is this here? I think I already does. Prognostic seeding along flight tracks produce the desired effects of cirrus cloud thinning. July 2023. All right. Today, I'm an intervention proposals using CCT or was assessed general circulation miles and ice nucleating particles, the ECHAM, GCM to simulate CCT using fully prognostic Cirrus seeding aerosol species. Were assumed to be made by bismuth triiodide and were emitted. Yeah, so this goes back to Trude Storyelmo's idea to use bismuth triiodide for cirrus cloud seeding, cirrus cloud thinning. This is literally the idea that all of those chemtrails you're seeing, those white lines in the sky, that they could use chemicals to melt them down. Bismuth triiodide were emitted into the atmosphere following aircraft emissions of black carbon soot. Appreciate that. I'm definitely going to read that entire paper, Derek. I've been talking about this for a very long time. You guys know that I'm very much nerding out on how these clouds are made, what chemicals are in the exhaust plumes of the aircraft, 100 quadrillion ultrafine particles per second at 80% thrust coming out of commercial airliners. Nobody's talking about any of this. So this should be your red flag. Why is this the only channel on the entire freaking internet that talks about it? All the others are either telling you, that planes are spraying magic pixie dust to kill the entire biosphere and that we're all going to die, or they're telling you, no, this is nothing but harmless water vapor and it's completely benign. And then there's me going, no, it is condensation trails, but it is also toxic chemicals, and nobody's ever quantifiably determined how much is there, how much is coming down, how that affects the climate, how that affects human health, let alone all the other, plants, animals, wildlife on the planet. So I'm going to stay riding that fence. I'm going to stay right in the middle, following the science. I almost even hate to say that because the science has become such a joke, especially in a post-COVID world. Nobody trusts anybody, that says we are the science. And I certainly am not the science. In fact, I am not an expert. I am always a student, sometimes a teacher, never an expert. I will continue to learn along the way. And when I learn, I will attempt to teach that to you. Because, that's 100% right. As Mr. Stoneley says, fear sells. And when we're talking about the atmosphere, there is so much atmosphere out there. And people are trying to sell their fear porn through their atmosphere videos. So don't just stop, please. You're not helping anybody this way. If you want to line your pockets by scaring people, go right ahead. I would rather be trying to find like-minded individuals to go out and do something about this. If you're one of those people, please like, share, subscribe. Hit me up on Rumble as well. I have several different platforms. They're all linked on connect.climateviewer.com. And I do believe at this point, if you go to just climateviewer.com, it should be right here. So if you go to climateviewer.com, boom, there's the Rumble, YouTube, Odyssey, BitChute, my X account, my Substack, Telegram, and the merch shop. Going to be making some new merch very shortly. I've been busy working on a couple other projects, and the same with weathermodificationhistory.com. And now I got that up on there as well, so people can find where to find me, and eventually I won't need that connect.climateviewer page anymore. This guy right here. Next up, I'm redoing the entire map. So everything on climateviewer.org. It's been so long, in fact, that I haven't shown anybody climateviewer.org at all in forever. In forever. So up next, I'm going to be redoing climateviewer.org for obvious reasons. I've got a lot of broken stuff on here, But the video, all the stuff from the alert section, which is like air quality, earthquakes, fires, volcanoes, hurricanes, lightning, the satellite imagery section, a lot of these are broken at the moment. So when you go to them, they will not work. So some of them will work. As you can see here, this does work and it's still updated. But I have a lot of broken links, which I need to fix. And you can go to the map list and you can click the date and choose, a different date. And bam, it'll instantly load that up. And you can go back in time and view things. But I got a lot of stuff on here that I need to update. So I'm working on that. Going to be a brand new interface. That's going to be the next huge thing that I'm working on. So I cannot wait to get this thing working again, fully functioning, so that we can have some fun with this during the videos regularly. But everything down here in the atmospheric sensors and EMF sites, energy and pollution, geoengineering and weather modification, government, and the whole history and science section with 103 maps in it, these all work just fine the way they are right now. And that is because they are served from my server. But everything in the top, that these top two categories, they're pulled from other servers in real time as you do it. And then finally down here on the Earth monitor, a lot of this stuff I need to update. So these are other maps that you can find, like, human trafficking map. I mean, you can go see that. It's going to pop you over and take you to see where current human trafficking activities are. Satellite tracking, everything. Flight tracking, ADS-B exchange, boom, you're there. Hit that, go to the military flights, things like that. So you can see all the flights in real time. But I need to go through and update all of this stuff because a lot of this stuff is either broken, out of date, or whatever. I will be working on that. It's probably going to take me... being realistic, it's probably going to take me a couple months. I mean, honestly. But, it's on my to-do list, okay? So when that thing gets shined up, the latest thing that has changed is now if you come to weathermodificationhistory.com, you can come right down here to the patent office or click right here on frequently asked questions and go to patents, either one. And of course, now I have the world's largest. I promised this for years and years, and I finally did it. All 1,181 weather modification patents in one location. Oh, and did I mention that they are searchable? So like if you put in Ken Caldera's last name, yes, you can see that is his cloud ionizing truck. And if you look at the patent itself, you will see that it is Ken Caldera, Roderick Hyde, Nathan Mervhold, the patent troll, Lowell Wood Jr., pretty interesting stuff. And his other patent with none other than the Bill Gates, William H. Gates III, along with two other, John Latham, Stephen Salter, all the geoengineers. So you can look through this and you can search it for all kinds of different stuff. You can come in here and say hurricane. Just hurricane. There's 46 patents just on hurricanes right there. And that's how it works. And I hope you guys have fun with it. And I hope that nobody is stupid enough to try to copy my patent list like they did in the past, because guess what? I will be DMCAing your ass. I will copyright claim the hell out of you if you do it to me like you did last time. For those who don't know, back in 2008, I made the first patent list, and then it got reposted on ClimateViewer.com circa 2013, and then Dane Wigington made a copy of it, didn't give me credit, and then it became a meme, and he went on Alex Jones and told everybody that he made it himself, and that became a thing. It's not going to be a thing this time, because if you go and you expand all 1,181 little patent boxes I have down there and then copy paste it on your website, I will make sure that you pay for that. But everything else is pretty much open source, and I appreciate everybody doing this because I do this stuff free of charge. This information is for educating the public. Please share it. That's at weathermodificationhistory.com/patents. Everything that I just showed you, including the article on ballast tanks, is at climateviewer.substack.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. The next video. Actually, I'm going to keep it a secret. I like to keep you on your toes. I don't like to give you guys even a heads up when I'm going to do the thing, because you know what? I never know when I'm going to do the thing. So when the thing happens, you'll know. Just make sure you subscribe. Subscribe to all the things. And follow me on X. If you guys have not come over to x.com yet, X is the best platform ever. I'm telling you this. It is the only platform where I can literally say whatever the hell I want, whenever the hell I want. It does not get censored whatsoever. It is a whole brave new world over there, and I absolutely love it. And when I'm working 40 hours a week, you will catch me live on X in some chat room talking all the time. Country Cat, you're banned from X? Like, bro, what? You had to be doing something really, really wrong to get banned from X. Like, seriously, go make a new account. They'll let you back in. Trust me. I know a guy got banned 3 times because he kept telling the Zyos that they needed to be cold. I'm like, dude, you can't say things like that. There is a limit. He says, I found out what you can't say. Hey, freedom of speech does not include violence. So that's why in all of these videos, by saying this, remember everybody, have a happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays. And, yeah, Dutch Sense got booted off X. Man, you guys, I'm doing my wrap up and you guys are literally like bringing it up. Dutch Sense got kicked off of X. It's a shame, when you go crazy and you say things in public, like, and you make threatening comments and then you get banned from a thing. It just happens, and I've managed to even through the real rough years on YouTube when you couldn't even say the C word because of the, government being very heavily involved in censoring everything. So it was actually the government threatening Google and YouTube to censor people. Man, it's absolutely crazy. But I survived all that because I don't come on here threatening people. It's pretty stupid. And I'm pretty careful about what I say while still saying everything that gives you enough information to get to the place where I can say all the things that I can't say on here and you get all the information. So that's why I have 3 websites plus a Substack plus a Telegram chat. And we have the most active Telegram chat. The people in there are phenomenal. You guys should join the chat, hit me up on X, and remember to attack ideas, not people. Love you, mean it. See you on the next one. If this video resonates with you, leave me a comment because I love hearing from y'all. First time here, be sure to subscribe and click the bell. Yeah! Remember, it would be impossible for me to do this without your support, so please join my Patreon or buy me a coffee on PayPal. And always, attack ideas, not people.